We've had the Jesus film, according to the Gospel of Luke, for the last 43 years. And that movie has been watched all over the world. Over 8 billion, probably 11 billion viewings, with over 200 million people who have given their lives to Christ. And those are the ones that we know that are reported, because they are those where we may never know how many. And I personally believe we could be having maybe 1 billion people who have prayed to receive Christ. Because of limitation of information and communication technology, most of the people who have watched this movie have never even reported it. And so with that legacy, with many partnerships, over 1,800 partners that have been involved with us with the Jesus film, we felt like, wait a minute, there is a new opportunity for us to reach the generation, because the world is largely young. And look at Africa alone. The median age for sub-Saharan Africa is 18 years. And so we are the youngest population in the world. But there are young people all over the world. A number of them are not watching the Jesus film according to the Gospel of Luke, the classic one. They feel it is probably outdated and things like that. But a lot of technology has developed over time, and the media has advanced, and we felt like, what if we came about with another movie?
Bless every service provider who will be giving us services at this event, whether airport transfers or the tents, the chairs, and everything, the food and whatever. Bless them. Father, may everything they do be the very best. Let people say this was the best event we have ever attended, and let the glory come back to you. Thank you, dear Lord. We bless you. We honor you. We worship you, King of glory.
I remember we had about 62 days to the event when the preparation kicked in meaningfully. That's when it was confirmed. That's when we had all the information that we needed. Because by the beginning of September, we didn't have all the information. But 62 days to the event, we now started the planning process.
At the same time, as we were preparing for the ASJ, I was also specifically responsible for a certain group of delegates, ladies from about 20 countries that were coming, want to be part of the launch, but also to come together in preparation for a women conference that is also coming together to mobilize women all over Africa in about the 51 countries to prepare them, to equip them to be ready to receive ASJ.
Prayer was very significant. In fact, we started right away to pray and fast because we realized we are involved with, this is about Jesus. This is not about a movie. This is about making Jesus known. And I know that Satan hates the name Jesus. For us to mobilize an entire country and also mobilize 50 countries of sub-Saharan Africa to tell them about a movie that will make Jesus known was pricking the devil in the eye. Remember, we had 104 delegates that came internationally from the US, from the UK, from the entire sub-Saharan Africa and Egypt. And so managing all that logistics, ensuring that people had their tickets in time, they had accommodation, they were picked from the airport in time, all that kind of thing, for them to participate in this, it needed God himself.
This event was an Africa event. So being able to manage the expectations of 54 countries. And yet, the design team largely was composed of Uganda staff and associates. So you find that was one of the key challenges, being, you're preparing something for the entire Africa, yet the team is largely composed of nationalities from one country, the host country.
So we had to do live stream for 50 countries. And remember, in Africa, we speak various languages. So we couldn't just do English. We had to do Portuguese, we had to do Amharic, we also had to do French. So we had to live stream 4 different languages. And so that brought in the dynamic of finding interpreters because, well, we had to look for people to interpret what was happening at the event. And these translators had to all be together at the event.
We had a number of challenges, but one which was a little more challenging than the rest was the change of venue. We had a venue that we had been planning with, we had visited it, we had worked out the detail of how things would run. Until 2 days to the event, that we received communication that we are sorry, the venue has to change.
And I remember that afternoon receiving a phone call from the office of the First Lady, and the news was that we had to change venue. With that, Kololo wasn't available because there would be another event, so we had to change venue. I won't get to the details, but after a discussion with the personnel in the First Lady's office, we zeroed on having the event at the Freedom Square in Makerere University.
To change the venue was something that was unsettling. But I remember calling our team and we prayed together again and we told each other, we have to make sure that we pull this one off. And so we were able to work out the logistics through the board. We were able to contact Makerere University and actually through first the office of the First Lady. And I really want to appreciate at this point again, the office of the First Lady, particularly Mama Janet Museveni, for helping us in this transition, for it to be smooth as though we actually never changed the venue. Because by the time we were in Makerere University, you wouldn't know that we had been planning with another venue until 2 days ago.
One, and which was the most tasking issue, was to inform the guests that have been invited that there has been a change of venue and let them know now this is our new venue and this is what will be required of you. So men and women have had to sit for long hours to make personal calls one by one, and then you had to go into the details of explaining why change the venue on a Monday when actually the event was on Wednesday. What has happened?
We had a plan of doing a dry run 2 days before the event, but then it wasn't possible because the venue was changed. And so we had to really go in by faith. And so we went live on all the YouTube channels. Some we had to do Facebook for those who didn't have YouTube. We went live about 30 minutes to the event. And we really want to thank God that each and every country that was logged in, they got the stream as though they were present at Makerere University. You couldn't even know that it was being picked maybe miles away.
I had to stay up on the ground with the tent people because decoration could not start, nothing could start until the tents were up. I remember the guys worked through the night, putting up the last flaps of that tent. I remember the decor people starting at night, the people bringing the sound system, brought it at night, the night of Tuesday, and everything had to be up that night.
The event went so well. The speakers, the panel discussion, MC was excellent. The First Lady gave an exceptionally good speech that really encouraged us as a ministry and encouraged actually the other countries. Because I'll tell you, the reason why I say it went very well is that the other countries have asked Uganda to help them to do their own kind of similar events. And also, it encouraged them to realize that government actually can be a partner in the Great Commission enterprise. And so working with the First Lady has given us a lot of mileage in terms of exposure, in terms of visibility, in terms of credibility. So the event went very well. And even after the event, we still hear the benefits of that event.
God held the rain. It was a season when it was raining. God held the rain until the very last point when just released a slight drizzle that could not chase people away, but just a slight drizzle, which for us and for me, I would think was a sign of approval over the event. And of course, the unveiling of the name of the animated story of Jesus also stood out. The event was super.
What we saw was just the beginning, was just a scratch, was just to show people that this is what is in the pipeline. It is in the works and it is coming. So be ready. Prepare the ground for sowing.
We are going to have this movie used in diverse ways, that it will be far easier to reach more people than the Jesus film classic because of the way it is going to be crafted. The new movie, the animated movie Jesus, will not do away with the others. They will still be in use, and will continue developing strategies to make them relevant to the people that we want to reach.